back to my channel. Today we have another munchies from the movies, from one of my all-time favorite movies as a kid, a Goofy movie. Everything about this movie was so great. The soundtrack is amazing. People still sing it to this day.
All I need is a chance, a second thought, a second glance will prove I got whatever it takes. It's a cake.
So this is definitely for my 90s kids out there. We're gonna be making some hot dad soup. And I feel like only the true fans of Goofy movie would know what that is. In the movie, you see Goofy and his son Max getting kind of trapped in their own car because Bigfoot is terrorizing them. And the only thing they have to eat for dinner is a can of alphabet soup. So we're gonna be making a roasted tomato soup with a grilled cheese on the side because you can't have one without the other, obviously. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, and let's get started. So let's just jump right into it. You're gonna need 8 tomatoes for this, and this is gonna make about 4 solid servings. Half of the tomatoes that I had were Roma, and half of them were on the vine. Could not tell a difference between the two other than color. So just doesn't matter what kind of tomatoes you use. Then we're gonna go ahead and add garlic cloves. I think I added about 6. And then I chopped up an onion to go with it because I just love tomato soup with onions in it. I don't know why, but whenever I make it at home, I need to have onions with it. So I'm gonna roast up those onions to go with it. And then I popped this into the oven at 375 degrees for about an hour. I did spray some olive oil spray on it. If you don't have olive oil spray, try and just use regular olive oil. And we're just gonna toss that in the oven. I forgot to record what the roasted tomatoes looked like after they came out of the oven because I am a horrible YouTuber. But we'll still see the end result. So let's go ahead and see what I seasoned it with. Got some garlic salt, of course. And this is all to taste. We got some pepper. Not freshly ground because we're not fancy today because alphabet soup's supposed to come out of a can, people. Let's not expect too much. We're gonna add some agave to add a little bit of sweetness. Whenever you're making any kind of tomato soup or tomato sauce, you're always gonna add some kind of sweetness to it to kind of balance out the acidity. Then I also added a crap load of parsley flakes and some onion salt. I love the stuff I get from Trader Joe's. Definitely worth grabbing. And some crushed red pepper flakes and some dried basil. I would definitely go for fresh basil if you have some. I did not. Sorry, my cat is like all up in here. I did not have basil, so I just used the dried basil. Also go ahead and cook your alphabet noodles. Doesn't take very long. I think they only took 7 minutes to make. This is what the soup looked like after I blended it. So I just, in a blender, I didn't show this because the camera wasn't on record, but you're just gonna add all the things that we roasted earlier into a blender with about 1.5 cups of water and some bouillon paste or powder if you have some. If not, you could also use broth. Then blend that up. Toss it onto the stove until it's all warmed up. I ended up putting the soup in this bowl first just so you could see. I did taste it and decided to season a little bit more. I do have this Flavor God pizza seasoning, which I love. The tomato basil soup at Safeway, it tastes a lot like pizza, or at least it did to me when I was a kid. So I always try and season my tomato soups like the one at Safeway. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start making my grilled cheese. But I'm gonna add some kind of like garlic spread on the outside of it just to, you know, jazz it up because we crazy around here. So we're gonna take a little bit of vegan butter. And I have this roasted garlic bouillon paste, and I'm gonna just mix that in with the butter till it's all nice and incorporated. You want it to be really blended out because the bouillon paste is really salty and you don't want to just get a patch of saltiness. It's not pleasant. Getting my bread out, but we're also gonna add some dried parsley leaves to it just to give it more of aesthetic. It doesn't really add much flavor, but it looks really nice on a grilled cheese on the crust, let me tell you. So we're spreading that all out, make sure it's all even. And I'm gonna go ahead and grill it with some Swiss diet cheese. Before I went vegan, Swiss cheese was my favorite cheese ever. It's so good. These ones don't taste that similar to it, but it's a start. Daiya isn't as bad as it used to be, but it definitely needs improvement. I think we can all agree on that. Unless it's the Daiya cheese from Disneyland. They have like crack Daiya. Not fair. So I ended up using 2 slices on this because the bread was a little bit bigger. There it is on the pan. And when you grill cheese, you want to do it more on a lower, maybe like medium heat, because you don't want to burn the crust before the cheese melts. Then while that's cooking, I'm gonna add my alphabet noodles, mix that thoroughly. I'm gonna get a little taste here, of course. And it was tasting good. It had a nice consistency. I was really excited about it. And here's the grilled cheese, all beautiful and golden. I'm gonna cut it because I like to turn them into little dippers. So just kind of cut them into strips. I make about 4 strips. And you can see all the cheese oozing out. Mama! Yeah! That's the soup. Taste it again. It's not too chunky, it's not too watery. I think it's the perfect consistency for tomato soup. Bomb AF. Simple, nostalgic, better than anything in a can. Definitely worth a try. It's a nice fall recipe, I think. It's better for fall, but I love soup all around. And there I was so happy I was able to spell hi dad for the thumbnail. So thank you guys for watching. I am so glad that you came to join me for one of my favorite movies. I think the recipe turned out bomb. It is a simple recipe, but sometimes all you want is something simple, so I think this is perfect. Go ahead and make the soup and turn on the movie and sing along to Paraline. I recently watched this video of Paraline, the guy who sings as Paraline, reenact the song, I think 20 or so years later, so I'm gonna add that link down for you, just so you guys have another thing to look at for nostalgia purposes. I really got a kick out of it, so maybe you guys will get a kick out of it too. Thank you guys again for watching. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!